Hey, what's up, guys? A couple of weeks back, I did a video on how to use Facebook Graph API in your Ionic 2 applications, right? So, the viewers of that video started asking me to do a video on how to implement Google authentication in Ionic 2 applications. So, I decided to make this video, and yeah, let's get started, guys. So, first, I'll open up my terminal. And then Ionic, or I'll make a directory kdir Google Ionic start Google plus blank. Okay, let this get created. Okay, this is done. So the next step would be to we'll be making use of Ionic Cloud Angular platform, guys. I mean the cloud services provided by Ionic. The reason is that you might have already seen my push notification video, right? We were making use of the same Cloud Angular services there also. So they have other services as well, like auth, deploy, package, etc. Now, if you look into the auth service, you'll notice that we have providers for Google here. So it becomes easy, right? We can just make use of this to implement Google authentication in our Ionic 2 application, right? So let's just go ahead and make use of that. So first of all, I'll just install this and install this. Okay. While this is getting installed, let us go ahead and check it out. So I'll just click on native login. So they have a separate page for that. Good. So I'll open up developer console. Click here, create project. Let this get created. Meanwhile, what we'll do is, okay, so what was that one? Okay, this is created. The next step would be to click on library and then type Google Plus here. Google Plus API is coming, right? Click on it. Click enable. And in the meantime, okay, this is done. So the next step would be to initialize this in our Ionic IO platform. So Ionic IO init. And meanwhile, okay, this is done. So I'll open this up in a VS Code editor. Meanwhile, I'll click on credentials here. Google again uses OAuth 2 method of authorization for preventing access to their resources, guys. If you don't know OAuth 2, or if you want to learn it, or if you don't understand it, kindly get into my channel, and I have made specific videos on explaining OAuth in a simple way. I mean, I feel in a simple way. So yeah, you could check them out, guys. So first of all, I'll create a OAuth client ID. Configure consent screen. Consent screen is the screen that will be shown up to us asking this app would require your permission to do so and so. A screen would come, right, in some applications. So that's the consent screen. So I'll just give Google Plus auth screen and I'll click on save. And now I'll choose web application here, and here there is an authorized redirect URI, right? For that we need to give, let's just open up their cloud docs. If you notice, they have provided an URL right here. Yeah, we'll take this sorry, go here, paste it here, and in your app ID we'll just give our app ID. Okay, this is done. Just click on create. We have a client ID and a client secret, right? Now we need to ensure that the client ID and client secret is registered with our Ionic application. So to do that, just go to ionic.io, apps.ionic.io, sorry, apps.ionic.io. So Google plus Auth is our app, right? There's just now we did Ionic IO in it, right? So we'll just get in here, go to settings, user auth. If you see there is a Google plus thing icon, right? Click on setup. The client ID and client secret they are asking. So just copy this, paste it here, copy this again, paste it here, and click enable. Okay, now you see the active badge or tag, whatever, beside the Google thing, right? So now this is set up. So what we have done is now we need to do the device configuration, guys. If you notice here, we need to do the device config. Now I don't own an iOS device. Apple products are pretty much costly here in India, guys. So let's just if someone tries this out in an iOS device and if it works fine, kindly post it as a comment below so that people who are trying with Apple devices would get a better enthusiasm to try it out, right? So let's just go ahead and do it with Android. First of all, in Android we need a SHA1 string. So I'll make use of the key tool to create one. So the key store password will be basically the default one would be change it, guys. Change it, not guys. Change it. And or if change it doesn't work, it will be password or just blank. Here in this case it's just blank, so I'm just giving blank and it's going. But we have an SHA1 string here, right? So we need to make note of this. Where we'll be using this is, wait, I'll show you. Here just give the app name Google plus Auth. An Android package name, you get it from your application. Config.xml. This widget ID is there, right? That's the Android package name. Get it. Paste it here. And then choose your country. Choose and configure services. Now if you just give the SHA1 string here, enable Google sign in. So this is enabled. So device configuration is done as well. Now what we need to do is build our application and then enable Google authentication inside our application. Let's see how to do that. We already have our project open up in the VS Code editor, right? Get into app.module.ts and go back to the docs. There will be a simple code there. If you notice, yeah, the cloud settings, right? If you had seen the push notification video, then obviously this would be familiar to you guys. We need to give a cloud setting constant in our application, which will then be used throughout the application. The settings would be used throughout the, okay, this is need to import, right? Import cloud settings, cloud manager, I guess, cloud manager, no, cloud module from Ionic/cloud manager. Okay, this is done. Now app ID, we'll just copy this from here and give it app ID is given, and web client ID we can copy from here, right? Ionic.io platform which we just gave. Okay, this is also done. Okay, as far as scope is concerned, scope is nothing but providing access to specific asking for permission, like how would I say, providing, suppose Google itself has several things, right? Analytics, it has several services, analytics, calendar, books, authentication is common for everything, several other things like plus Google Plus is there. So scope denotes the permission which you need to give for each and everything in order to access resources from or data from each and every service, guys. So for getting an email or getting your profile, then scope is not needed for that. So as of now, I'll just give it as a blank array. But maybe I'll just show you an example with the scope so that you get a better understanding, guys. So right now, don't worry about this. I'll save this and then cloud module dot for root cloud settings. Okay, save this. Get into pages home.html. Just create a button ion button, click login. Okay, login screen, login / button, copy this, paste it once more, and then click on logout. Okay, this is done. So we just have a couple of buttons. We'll make use of them here. Besides, we need to get more code, right? So that we just need to get Google Auth and user from Cloud Angler. So we'll do that. Say this, and we'll get this as well. Give a comma here, add that to our application. Now just give login, and for login, how is it? It's a promise. Yeah, it's a promise. So what shall we do is we'll just then success. If you had already seen or if you already know the concept of OAuth 2.0, then in simple terms it's nothing but success. In simple terms, it's nothing but what to say. We'll get a token here, guys, if it's successfully logging. I'll just show you. Alert logged in. Alert success. No, JSON dot stringify success. Okay, very simple code. So then we'll have logout here once again, another function. And inside this we'll give the this.google.auth.logout. Okay, so a very simple piece of code, guys. We have done nothing but have two buttons, and then one button is used to log in and one button is used to log out. That's all. And then we have configured our app in such a way that it will when login button is clicked, it will just redirect to Google and then perform Google authentication. If the authentication is successful, it will print out a token and then a message saying logged in. So yeah, guys, let's just run this app in our mobile device and see if this goes fine. So before running this app, we forgot to install the Cordova plugin for this, right? So if you are using an iOS device, you need to give the reverse, the client ID is there, right? There is a value for that. You need to give that. That value will be available in the plist file. So I'll copy this and then Ionic, paste it. While this gets installed, I'll connect my mobile, which means that I'll disconnect my mouse. So I'll be using the trackpad. I'm not that good with the trackpad, guys. Okay, then I'll give Ionic platform add Ionic run Android. Okay, the app is running. Oh, you are not able to see it, right? Just a minute, guys. I'll just open 7 Square. Okay, you can see the app, right? We just have two buttons. First, I'm clicking on login. Let's see what happens. Wow, it's asking for which account. Oh, since I have two accounts, it's asking which account should I choose. see, it's showing logged in. So obviously I am logged in now, and it's also not only that, it's also showing the token. This token can be made use of to make authorized requests to access the resources from Google platform, guys. So if you know or understand OAuth 2 concept, then you would obviously get what I'm saying as regards to this token concept, guys. This token is the one that would be passed along while making requests, so that the requests are considered as authorized requests and Google allows the app to access data. So yeah guys, this is what I wanted to show you guys today. I'm just clicking on logout again, so that yeah, that's it guys. So yeah, this is what I wanted to show. No, scopes, yeah, scopes I forgot, right? The scopes I said I would tell you or show you an example rather. First of all, let me just, my laptop is on a very old one guys, so it won't like handle multitasking or something, so I'll just close any one, this one 7 square, I'll close it. And scopes, yeah, the thing is we need click here you can see, right, there are a lot of scopes and the description of what they would do. So these are all the OAuth 2.0 scopes, guys. If you add any of these in your application, mobile application, then it would obviously, as you see, you have a scope for AdSense management. It would obviously ask the permission to access that particular feature in your phone. For example, I have Google Calendar in my phone, right? Everyone almost using Android has Google Calendar in their phone, even though I don't know whether they use it on regular basis. So I'll just, Calendar API v3 is there, right? I'll just copy this. Copy this, and then go to my code. Paste this here. Where is it? app.module.ts. Yeah, pasted it here. So now we have a scope. This pertains to the calendar API, right? So now our app should ask permission to access the calendar while logging in, right? So let's see what happens. So I'll just and then Ionic run Android. So now once again our app has started up. Now I'm clicking on login button. Let's see what happens. I'm choosing the account. You can see the difference, right? Google Plus Auth would like to view your calendars. That's because in the scope we mentioned the API for calendar. If you had given for books as well, then that would be displayed as well. So if I click on allow, it literally means that it has got the permission. Oh, I didn't click on allow. It literally means that it has got permission for accessing the calendars, and now it shows logged in. It has successfully logged in, and it gives a token as well. So now we have permission to access the calendar API. You can make calls to that API, get data from that API, whatever. So that's what scope is used for. Even though your app is authenticated, you can prevent access to certain resources using scopes, guys. That's the concept condensed in a single line. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys today. This is how Google Auth can be done in your Ionic 2 application, guys. So if you found this helpful, kindly share it with someone else and then help them too. If you like this video, kindly hit on the thumbs up button. It would be some sort of appreciation to me. Also kindly share it on Reddit or tweet about it, whatever, just share it with someone else. So yeah guys, if you like my video, if you really like my video and would love to watch more of this cool stuff, kindly hit subscribe. Also guys, a few videos back I asked you in a video, I remember, on which camera to buy, right? I'm thinking of buying a Canon 70D, but if you have any good suggestions, kindly post them in the comment, and then so that I can have an idea, guys. So yeah, talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.